Star Shoe. I am coming to you today on this episode of our 21-day challenge. I want you to know that you are absolutely going to crush it in 2025. That is what's on my heart. That's what I believe. And I want you to know that you are set up to take on the world. I don't care what the goal has been. I don't care what obstacles you've been facing all through. I want you to know that 2025 is going to be the best year of your life. And it starts today. It starts with you making that decision that you're going to push forth with your goals. It starts with you making that decision that you're not going to relent. And so that's why we're on this live today. I want you to share the live with someone and let them know that we are on. And we're going to be talking. It's going to be brief. I don't want to take a lot of time, but I want us to continue to prepare ourselves for 2025. So share with someone, and let's just take 2 minutes, 3 minutes, share with someone so that we get more people into the live to be a part of the conversation as we prepare for 2025. Again, I want you to know that 2025, you're going to crush it. I am so excited for you. I'm so excited for what is coming. You will absolutely crush it. And that's my message today. You will crush it in 2025. So let's see how we can set ourselves up to crush it in 2025, to set ourselves up to achieve our goals and to achieve them big. So invite someone and let's have this conversation going. Thank you for sharing. You are absolutely amazing for taking the time to change your life, for taking the time to set yourself up for success. Today we're talking about building self-discipline. Self-discipline as we prepare to achieve our goals. What is the key? The key is self-discipline. We have to be self-disciplined, and so that we can sustain our progress. We can sustain action. I listened to something a couple of days ago, and the person said, once you have already gotten momentum, it is very important to keep that momentum going. And I think that is the greatest thing, the most important thing that we have most of us need on our journey. Because we start things, and yes, it's easy to start. It's good to start. But then when discipline is not maintained, what happens is that momentum is lost, and then things fall through the cracks. And so I want you to be challenged to develop a self-disciplined lifestyle. So I'm going to grab my phone. So we're going to jump on in a couple of minutes. We're going to start. And so I want you to invite someone, because this is absolutely going to be amazing. So it is almost 5 minutes after the hour, which was set to go live. Thank you for all those who are sharing, and thank you for all those who are joining and watching live. I know we have some people watching live on Facebook. Thank you for watching live. Please share with someone. And we're just getting ready to start here in about 30 seconds. Again, today we're talking about cultivating self-discipline and staying consistent over time. It's cultivating self-discipline and staying consistent over time as we set ourselves up to achieve our goals for 2025. So we're just going to jump right into it. Like I said a few minutes ago, many times it's not starting something that matters, but it is continuing and it is maintaining momentum so that you can finish and finish well. And so again, I'm your girl Starshu, and I want you to know that I'm rooting for you. I want you to know that this time that you're taking to prepare for 2025 is the best time of your life, because 2025 is going to be the greatest year of your life. If there's one thing that I want you to leave this knowing, is that I believe in you. And I believe in what is inside of you. I believe in the potentials that you have. And I am glad that you are coming along. I am coming alongside with you to make sure that you're setting yourself up to have a great and a glorious and a productive, a fruitful and amazing year 2025. So, yesterday we talked about self-awareness as we're preparing for 2025, talking about understanding the areas where we're struggling, understanding our unique shape, our unique design, our giftings, our experiences, our strengths, our weaknesses. Whatever you need to do, asking someone to tell you about yourself, whatever it is you need to do, make sure that you have that understanding before you go to the next step. And the next step is building self-discipline. Why is that important? Now, once you've understood yourself, once you've understood and you have that sense of awareness on your weaknesses, your strengths, the areas where you struggle with, you are going to be able to set a system, and which is going to be self-discipline, to make sure that even though you have weaknesses, you don't fall by the wayside as you're achieving your goals. And so the first thing that I have here written down is that your purpose and your goals have to be known and have to be understood clearly. We talked a little bit about that yesterday, but that is so important, because remember, when you are able to achieve your goals, you're fulfilling your purpose. Remember, your purpose is at the top, your goals are underneath, and so as you are crushing it on every single goal that you're setting and you continue to grow, you are fulfilling your purpose. So understanding your purpose. Again, this journey started with us on the Purpose-Driven Life. I want you to get that book if you haven't gotten it yet and read it. Put yourself into it. I know we don't have 40 days to the beginning of the year, but I want you to take that book. It's had over 50 million copies of it have been sold. It has changed my life. I want you to do that for yourself. Take that and read it, go through it so that you understand the purpose for which you were created. You understand your unique design. So once you've understood, at the top of this, I want you to have a journal, your 21-day journal, as we're going through this challenge, because I'm giving us action items for every day. But the first thing is put that purpose there at the top of it. And then you write down those areas of strengths and weaknesses, have that evaluation. And when you have that clear purpose, it's going to motivate you. I said yesterday that your purpose is beyond you. So when you think about the fact that I have to do this not just for me, then you get even more motivated. You get fulfilled with what you're doing. And that is it even for me coming online and sharing this with you, is because I know that there are people out there that can be transformed and that can be changed by the information that I have to share. I know that I am designed to share this information with people, and so I know that me coming here is beyond me. I know that you're going to benefit from this, and so that gives me energy, that gives me motivation to understand that, hey, I can't just sit down and feel weak and feel tired, but I have to be strong to go out and show up for the people that I need to show up for. We talked about the fact that whether it's you losing weight or whatever, those little goals that you're setting up for yourself, they come underneath your purpose, and your purpose is beyond you. So having a clear understanding of your purpose is absolutely important if you want to have a disciplined mindset. Now, the next thing that I'm going to talk about is once you have your purpose set up, that is the long term. That is not a goal. Your purpose is your purpose. Goals fall underneath that. So the next thing is establishing a routine. The truth is there is so much that can be done, in 24 hours. Many times we think and we say, oh, I do not have time. But one thing I want you to take back today, one action, is that I want you to start tracking the time that you spend on different things. I want you to start thinking about how many minutes am I spending when I get up from bed to scroll through notifications on my phone, to scroll through the different things that I have on my phone. How many times, how much time do I use to brush my teeth and get ready? Sometimes you can think, oh, I'm just doing it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But the truth is that if you start tracking that, you're going to see, wow, 15 minutes, 20 minutes went by because while I was doing that, I was, doing one thing or the other. So having that detailed look at your life is going to help you as you try to establish a routine for yourself. So it's important for you to have a routine. What is that routine? Prayer, reading of your Bible, whatever it is, doing your exercise, meditation, whatever it is that you have to do. Remember, I talked about the fact that I have affirmations. So I do affirmations even before I get out of bed. That's something that has helped me to be energized when I sleep late or I don't have many hours of sleep. I tell myself I can do this. It's going to be a great day. So that's a routine that I have. Before I get out of bed, before I even, do one thing or the other, I do my affirmations. That's a routine. So what is your routine? Some people read their Bible. Some people pray. Some people, most people scroll their phones. Most people, they can call someone, they check emails, whatever it is. Make sure that you're understanding your current routine. That's the first thing. And then the next thing is, what routine do I want to have? So, because I want you to understand that there is no way you can change something if you don't understand what is wrong with that thing in the first place. So a big part of our exercise as we're getting ready to get into 2025 is understanding the areas where we are struggling. It's understanding what are the current things that are happening in our lives, understanding where our time is going, understanding, where our energy is going, understanding where our finances, our resources are going, and all of those things. When we are able to understand those things, that is the beginning, because then we're going to be able to put in place systems to get us where we want to go. So once you have analyzed your current routine, then on the other side of the paper, so take a paper, put down your current routine. I should have brought my 24-hour journal, which shows me my time. Sometimes I have times that, okay, there's a meeting here, there's work here and all of that, but sometimes I go by and I see 2 hours and it's like, what happened in those 2 hours? And so that's how my transformation journey has been, understanding those gaps and then understanding that, wow, I can do this. All of these things that I keep making excuses for, I can do them. So on one side, write what you're currently doing, and then on the other side, write what you want to do with the times and with the hours. And then the next thing is that once you do that, you have to learn how to write down. I know people say to-do lists don't work, but the truth is that if you do not have a list of the things that you have to do, you will not get them done. There is no person who's running an organization, running a business, running some major thing that does not have a to-do list. I always tell people, a calendar, for those who are in corporate America, That's a to-do list, because yes, that's a list of where your time is going. So you can look at a to-do list as, yes, these are the list of things that I have to do, and then you plug them into the times that you have on your calendar. So there is time for work, there is time that I check social media. I was going through a video one time, and a lady talked about how she concentrates her hours of work between certain hours, and then when she's down on energy, then she can go and start doing the lightweight stuff, which is the social media and other things. We're going to get maybe deeper into that later on. But what I want you to understand in the second point of establishing a routine is that, first of all, you have to understand your current routine, and then you have, which is the current state, and then the to be state. What are you going to want to do or have as a routine in 2025? What are you going to want to have as a routine tomorrow? Remember, you have 20 something days which you can start implementing that routine now. Yesterday I said that your year doesn't just start on January 1st, it starts today. So you can start that tracking and that management of your time and your routine now. And so one main thing too to understand is that you have to, in all of that time, I know that we're talking about achieving goals, I know that we're talking about crushing it and everything, but there must be time for rest incorporated. There must be time for, for you to be revived, rejuvenated. So you have to also have an inventory of the things that make you feel good, that make you relax, that make you, have a good time. So for me, music sometimes, sometimes just relaxing, playing with my kid. So what are the things that make you feel rejuvenated? Incorporate those things in your routine. So moving on. So we've talked about the fact that we have to define our purpose clearly. That's how we're going to stay disciplined. So we're not going to be all over the place. We're going to define our purpose. And next thing is that we're going to incorporate a good, solid routine in our lifestyle. But by doing that, we need to evaluate where we are and where we're going. I was talking with a friend of mine, and she was struggling with managing her time. And I told her, you think that you're using your time in X, Y, and Z form. I want you to start tracking how much time you're using for a shower, for this, for that. I go that detailed. My brain is wired to go that detailed. And indeed, if you are not able to go that detailed, you're not going to succeed in achieving your goals, crushing it in 2025. And when she started tracking that, she started seeing where her time was going, and that changed her life completely. Little things, little steps are going to change your life. I remember the story of McDonald's. I believe that he wanted to set up a system where they could make a burger in 15 seconds. And they got a system where they could do that. We're talking about 15 seconds. We're talking about how the people who are multi-billionaires manage time, because time is a resource. And so when you don't have that level of detail and you want to compete and you want to crush it, you are not going to be able to, because you would always find yourself being like, I do not have time. So I want you to understand that routine is very important. Understanding the things that energize you, putting them in there, understanding the things where your time is going, the order of priority on your tasks, and then the third thing is avoiding distractions. Now, I could spend the whole time just talking about this one single point, because this is the killer of our 2020, our century. This is 21st century. The killer of our century and of dreams and of goals and of achievements is distractions. It is so important for you and I to be aware of the distractions that are in our surrounding. Again, I want you to understand one thing I'm going to be talking about a lot is awareness. Awareness, awareness, awareness. You cannot change anything if you're not aware. And in your pursuit right now of crushing it in 2025, achieving those big goals, starting that business. I know you're doing a 9 to 5. I know you have one business already, but you are looking forward for more. You have to be aware of distractions. I want to tell you a secret. I heard this I read this in a book, and I'll probably get the link of the book and share it. But it is the book that is called "Eat That Goat." In that book, there's research that was conducted that says that the average corporate America employee, listen, the average, I know you might be working in a high pressure situation, which is different. Yes, that is the exception. But the average corporate America employee does not work more than 16 hours a week. So what does that mean? That means that you have all this time, 24 hours, in those 40 hours that you're being paid for, that you don't use. So what is going on with that time? And you want to start a business, you want to scale your business, you want to write that book, you want to achieve that goal, but yet you're leaving time on the table, which you're already being paid for. But sometimes because we sit there at the desk for such a long time, checking emails, wondering what's the next thing, looking at meetings, replying to pings and all of that, you think that, oh, I'm so busy, and at the end of the day, you're exhausted. But if you could set up yourself to maybe get up and walk, get up and do a few things, just be aware of what is going on, you're going to see pockets of time which you could use to, write a small blog post. You could use to, just do something in that business. You could find time where you could, do that script, whatever it is, for the video. Anything that you have to do, you have to find pockets of time. And those pockets of time are swallowed up in distractions. But again, when I talk about awareness, unless you are aware of those distractions, unless you are aware of those things that are eating up the little pockets of time, I'm not talking about massive time you have. No, we're talking about little steps, little things you can start now to change your life. You're going to realize that you have a lot of time. So be aware of how much you're scrolling. I remember when I started tracking the hours that I was spending on some of the social media apps, it was so high. I started limiting. There are some features on your phone which you can actually use to limit how much screen time you're spending. And so after that certain number of hours, say I put 1 hour, what's going to happen is it will shut me off. So I'm going to be conscious that, oh wow, I've already spent 1 hour. And so I tracked that over time. And I made some radical decisions. So one of the things that I do to cut distractions is I have muted so many notifications on my phone. I get calls, I get regular texts, social media. I know I am on social media, but I don't let those constant pings come into my space and distract me from what I'm doing. So when I want to make send a text or check an email or whatever, I'm making that conscious decision, and those triggers are not just coming in and absorbing my day and distracting me at will. So you have to be aware of distractions. So when you're aware of distractions, it's going to help you to not to keep your time, to protect your time. It's going to help you to protect your time. And when you protect your time, you're protecting your energy. I can also spend a lot of time talking about that, but the truth is that in another research as well that I read, when you distract yourself on a project which you're all heads on, focused on, it takes you about 17 to 22 minutes to regain your focus, your flow. Think about that. These things are scientifically proven. These things are true. And sometimes you don't think that, oh, I'm using energy checking my emails. But the truth is that there is so much energy in another study that I had read that is expensed in making the decision of, okay, do I have to respond to this email? Do I have to respond to this email now? How do I have to respond to this email? Should I delete this email? That whole cycle of making those decisions is taking energy from you, and you don't realize it. But then what happens is that at the end of the day, at the end of 8 hours, maybe you had always sat there and gone through emails, done a little work here and there. Remember, we talked about 16 hours. So when we say 16 hours, that means that in a day, in a day, you're technically working an average of 3.5 hours, right? Maximum 4. So, but you, at the end of the day, you're so exhausted, and working from home has completely changed the landscape. That is also one thing that is helping people, instead of maximizing time, to really be more distracted. So you have to be aware of distractions in your space. And so you can use tools like website blockers. I turn off notifications. You can use set timers. Clear your space as well. So when I get up in the morning to do my work, I did that even this morning. I just, all the papers from the previous day, things that just came in because I was doing this and that, I clear all of those things off my space so that I have a clean space and a clear mind to focus. At the end of the day, when you're working and different things come in, you find that those things are there. But when you want to do your work and you want to be in a productive environment, you have to limit distractions as much as possible. So think about ways that you can limit distractions in your space. Be aware, and then think about ways that you can limit distractions in your space. I've given you some of them. Notifications don't come on my computer. Even work notifications, I will check those emails regularly, but I don't just let those notifications keep popping in. And, on the phone as well, scheduling times when you can look at the different social media things you have going on. So just putting little things to protect your time and avoid your energy and your time being burnt out. When you do that, you're going to realize that, wow, you're being more productive. And then those goals that you have set for yourself, they are actually going to come to fruition. Another thing that is important to understand is that you have to appreciate and celebrate the little efforts that you make, because little efforts, they stack up. So the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. Many times we do not realize that doing that thing today that you have been procrastinating for 10 days is a step. You did it not because it was the due date, or not because you were under pressure, because that's a different thing entirely. When you get yourself, that, oh, I'm under pressure, this is the due date, and then you do it, that's different. But you finally getting up and saying that, okay, I have procrastinated on this thing for 10 days, I'm going to do it today, without anybody pushing you, without any negative consequences being attached, that is a win. And so you have to identify those little wins, and you have to celebrate them, and you have to continue taking them, because little steps add up to make the big move. So maybe you wanted to register that business, and maybe today all you did was research the name. And then maybe tomorrow what you're going to do is you're going to buy the domain name for the website, or you call up your accountant and say, hey, I want to set up this business by the end of the week, let me know the requirements. And then you gather those things. Those little steps, they take you closer to your goal. And so you have to understand that having that sense of awareness of those little steps in the journey, write them down. There's so much of writing down that we have to do, but the truth is that having a visual of the things that we want to do, the steps, and all of that, it has a big part to play in us achieving our goals. So another thing you have to do is you have to understand that, small steps, they stack up, they add up. So I think I already talked about that one. But once you're able to do one thing and you succeed, and you're able to do another thing and you succeed, what is going to happen is that you're going to keep getting momentum. The fifth thing that I want to talk about is practice self-compassion and resilience. The truth is that on this journey, you are going to experience times where you will stumble. There will be times when you will not, achieve those goals in time. There will be times when you might, fall by the wayside. But you have to be compassionate with yourself, because you're not where you were yesterday. So if you've taken 5 steps today and you are not able to take the 6th step the next day, be compassionate on yourself. Give grace to yourself. And the truth is that when you start giving grace to yourself, you will even be able to, enjoy the results and the success. Because the truth is that sometimes when we do not give grace to ourselves, what happens is that, we are so hard on ourselves, and then even when the success comes, it's like we spend more time wishing, oh, I had done this, regretting about this, regretting about that. But the truth is that when you show self-compassion for yourself, what is going to happen is that you're going to be able to celebrate the wins. So that is it for today. Be compassionate, be patient. We talked about it yesterday, that growth takes time. Transformation takes time. But today you are one step closer to crushing it. Today you're one step closer to achieving your goal. So I'm just going to summarize that which I've shared today. And the first thing is that you have to define your goals, your purpose. It has to be clearly defined. The next thing, for you to establish self-discipline, you have to do that. The next thing is that you have to be aware of your current routine, and then you have to set up a routine that works, a routine that is going to align with your goals. So you're going to set up a time where you're going to write, or a time where you're going to make calls if you're in a sales type of business, or you're going to make time where you're going to source your products, whatever it is that you are in. I talk about writing a lot because I know that I love people who have projects to write books and do one thing or the other. But establish a routine that is going to work for you, and to do that you have to be aware of the current routine that you have. Be aware of the limitations and the distractions that are in your space. So the temptations, the distractions, you have to be conscious about them, because those temptations, they eat up your time. Those distractions eat up your time, and then you find that you're not energetic, you're not productive, you're stressed, and then things are not getting done. So, but when you are able to identify those distractions and put in place, boundaries to protect your time, to protect your space, you're going to see that you're going to be crushing it on your goals come 2025. You have to celebrate small wins and little action steps, because every action builds upon another. You should not ignore the little steps. For a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. The fifth thing and the last thing for today is that you have to be compassionate with yourself. Now think about a man who's going on a journey of 1,000 miles. When he goes 5 steps, 10 steps, maybe 20 steps, he might need to take a break, he might need to rest, he might need to be like, I'm tired. But the truth is that he has to continue going. So you might fall by the wayside here and there, but you should have a system to get back up. And I can talk about a system to get back up in detail, which really the main thing is having accountability. And I'll probably talk more about that in later videos. But the truth is that when you have those little wins, you have to celebrate them. You have to be compassionate with yourself and also have accountability. Because when you have that accountability, it's going to help you to keep going. And you're going to be compassionate with yourself. You have to be, because if you're not compassionate with yourself, what's going to happen is that you're not even going to celebrate the success when it comes. You're not going to. You're going to be mad. You're going to be frustrated because you did not, you know, you could have done this, you could have done that, you could have done that. But that's not what we want. We want to have a positive mindset. We want to be excited about our goals. We want to celebrate our wins. We want to understand that we are humans and that growth takes time, change takes time, but that ultimately we are going to fulfill our purpose. We are ultimately going to achieve our goals. We are going to have a fulfilling life. We are going to touch and impact all the people that we have to. So family of doers, I want you to, go and take action on the things that we've talked about. Take note of your routine and start creating a winning routine for yourself for 2025. Maybe later on, I'm going to talk about how to create a winning routine, daily routine. Yes, I think that'll be great for you so that you can really be set up to have a routine that is going to work for you. Well, I'm going to see you tomorrow on another video. I hope you're enjoying it, and I hope that you share this with someone. Please like this content. If you want to hear more, if you have questions, please let me know what your questions are. Let me know what you're struggling with as it comes to preparing for 2025. Let me know what you're struggling with. Let me even know what your goals are so that I can come along with you and we can together get ready to crush those goals, because I'm all about crushing those goals, and I believe in you. I believe that you got this. I believe that you're going to make an excellent and a massive difference in 2025. It's going to be your best year yet. Trust me. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.